And we're back.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So,
So,
it's Wednesday.
it is Wednesday. The day after Tuesday, also known as Third Monday.
Right. So today we're talking about this new album by the Neil Morse Band.
Ah,
Very excellent album.
yeah.
The album
Inspiring
entitled
music.
Broken Bow.
No,
That would have
it's
been
called...
very clever.
Yes, no, it's called Innocence in Danger.
Innocence
Ah.
and danger.
Yes.
So the title of this video is unrelated. One could say clickbait.
Ah, that's funny. No.
Imagine.
Every night.
That even wasn't where I was going with that, but sure. Can't talk. That's all right.
Right, so I saw somewhere online that the
20 years
This-
ago yesterday,
this was the 20th anniversary.
that show.
Yeah. that
Of the
one show.
night Curtis sat down and recorded this episode.
Probably, or it's close, yeah.
Yeah. Probably not night of, I don't think, because we got it.
Yeah, we got it like a Monday night,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so...
So, though, would it have been Monday night 20 years ago?
It might have been Sunday.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know. Why don't I Google it?
That seems too easy. Let's just continue to
Guess.
guess and move on.
Okay.
Or we could look it up. I don't care. Do what you want. 20 years ago, an episode of Star Trek Enterprise aired. The first episode, entitled Broken Bow. In it, Scott Bakula-led, and there were other people there as well. There was a Klingon, a farmer, a cornfield, a laser shotgun, and a Suliban.
Mm. So September 26th was a Wednesday.
A Wednesday.
Mm.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
Star Trek, following George Lucas down the prequel path.
Mm.
Uh,
Some Klingons?
Klingons that look like Klingons from Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager, rather than the
Mm.
Klingons of the original series.
Yes,
But-
confusing.
we get an explanation later
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. 3 seasons later, and with different showrunners, the show actually decided to try and be a prequel, explain things about why the universe exists the way it does in the later series. In the first couple of seasons, first 2 mostly, it's just kind of like, yeah, we're just continuing on doing our Star Trek thing that we've done with TNG and Voyager.
Right.
It's old, it's boring, but you'll watch it anyways.
Hmm. Even the Borg episode?
Well, Curtis, there's a saying about blind squirrels and nuts.
Ah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. So, this episode was... I don't know. I think it's pretty good.
Interesting. I feel like I've learned a lot about you with that statement.
I mean, the introduction is kind of captivating. The whole,
The
exploding silo thing and Suliban thingies and...
Ah,
And that opening song. Great
Right.
opening song.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, the opening song.
Curtis, tell me about that opening song.
Well, it has some words,
Yes.
lyrics.
Lyrical content.
It's an interesting decision
Yeah.
on their part.
Never replicated before or after.
Right, yeah.
Even this new Kurtzman Trek has strayed away from worded intro songs,
Yeah.
with all their 23 producers to take up time on their credit screen.
Oh, speaking of music, the Star Trek Lower Decks has some incredible music.
Okay.
There's an episode where they call back kind of the French horn stuff in the Wrath of Khan soundtrack. Where it's like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh, really?
I can't sing it, but yeah.
Curtis keeps telling me this stuff as if I'm gonna watch the Lower Decks at some point. I'm not.
The Lower Decks theme song is far better than the Enterprise theme song. That's one reason to watch it.
That's a very low bar to hurdle over. You could limp over that thing.
It might be. No, it's not better than Voyager.
As much crap as I give Voyager, it's got a great theme song.
Yeah. It's good. You'd enjoy it.
Nah.
Ah.
I'm tired of Kurtzman's Star Trek. It sucks. I'm over it. Move on.
Well.
So Klingon guy is there.
Shot in a hospital bed. We meet Phlox, sorta, kinda. Something else happens. Archer winds up getting Klingon man on the Enterprise.
Right, gotta return him home.
Gotta get him home.
But the Vulcans are like, no,
Right.
humanity needs to slow down because us Vulcans are slow.
That's why they are irrationally angry, because they haven't gotten the teachings of Surak yet. That's also explained in season 4.
Yeah,
Season
we're getting there.
Season 4 is let's right the wrongs of this ship.
Right.
So we get to see Zephram Cochrane for a couple scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, we skipped over at the very beginning, the young Jonathan Archer
that's
flying his
yeah.
ship.
It's not
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, because it's forgettable and not important.
Right, not necessary.
No, it really isn't.
But it
Yeah.
shows his angst towards the Vulcans and how they held them back, and his father couldn't see his ship fly.
Whatever. Captain Jonathan Bakula decides he's ready to go, so he's got to go and get his crew. Gets Hoshi from whatever university she was teaching at.
She was in Brazil, I
Sure.
think.
Trip's just already there on the ship. We really Hoshi's the only one I think we go out of our way to go and get from somewhere, because everyone else just kind of shows up on the ship. It's like, oh look, there's Travis. He's there until he's not.
Isn't he upside down or something?
Oh right, we meet him in the 0G chamber that they use for 3 scenes in the entire show.
No, I don't think it's a 0G chamber.
No, but it's the sweet spot or something about it, where the
Yeah.
grav plating meets the something.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Every ship's got one.
Apparently. Something I didn't know before.
And you still don't know. Because if you hadn't talked about this episode, you would have completely forgotten about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So T'Pol is assigned as their Vulcan liaison.
Right. We also, when we meet Trip, he's doing an impression of Charles Tucker. Be sure, Don Lieutenant, your parts will be here in the morning. And then he says the exact same thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
Yep.
oh boy, that's what we're doing, huh?
Tucker.
Tucker.
I like Tucker. He's a good character.
He gets way better as the show goes on. First season Tucker's not great. First season anything isn't really great.
Oh yeah. Okay, so on a Suliban vessel somewhere, Silik, the leader of the Suliban cabal, speaks with a mysterious, nameless humanoid figure from the future.
The temporal
Cold War.
Temporal Cold War.
A storyline that will pop in and out throughout just over 3 seasons and not really go anywhere until the end of it with space Nazis.
Right, yes.
And I can say that in complete seriousness because
That is what they were.
what they were.
Yeah, that was a strange. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know why they did that. That's such a weird. Okay, end of season 3.
I'm still confused on how them leaving the Nazis at that time was going to continue the Cold War. I still don't.
What? What are you talking about?
In that episode, when we see the space Nazis finally,
Yes.
they talk about how they have to leave,
Yes.
and that's going to continue the Cold War in some way.
Yes. They need to get back to the future so they can continue the Cold War.
Okay.
Yeah, so Archer stopped them from getting back to the future. So then the Cold War.
Because
I think
the space Nazis no longer had access to a time machine, meant
Mhm.
time was once again relative. They were on the clock. They had to get back.
Right.
Because
I
they
just-
could be defeated in this time without access to a time machine to change the past.
I see.
Yeah, but wasn't there something about how if they didn't go back to the future, somebody wouldn't have gotten shot that caused
Right,
the
because they
Nazis to
hadn't-
come to America?
What? No.
There was some weird thing
yes,
that changed.
that's why the Nazis were able to defeat the Russians and focus on the Western Front.
Time travel's hard.
Yes, it is. And space Nazis don't make it any easier. Thank you for coming to our review of the first three-part beginning of season 4. We appreciate your audience.
So wait, Noah, have you watched Loki yet?
No,
Ah,
I'm not
It's too
going
bad.
to.
oh, that's unfortunate.
Why?
Well, there's just stuff to do with time travel in there
Okay.
in the final episode.
All right.
And I read online somewhere that...
Oh, it was on the internet. It must be
Yes.
true.
Well, it was a theory, fan theory. I
A
think.
game theory. Sorry.
That the whatever, the weird, it wasn't a perfect circle, but whatever thing that Tony Stark came up with that explained time travel, it was like a circle, but it
Mhm.
wasn't.
Yes.
Well, that apparently is the sacred timeline. That's what he discovered, which is why they were able to
What?
travel through it.
That
Sacred
doesn't-
timeline.
It doesn't make any sense.
You have to watch Loki and you'll understand.
It doesn't make any sense. He just applied a Mobius strip to whatever.
Right, the Mobius strip. That is the sacred timeline.
That doesn't make sense. The Mobius strip is just a thing. And a
The
racetrack
Mobius-
in Futurama.
The Mobius strip is a representation of the sacred timeline.
That doesn't make any sense.
It does. You have to watch Loki. Just watch it.
Do they explain why that makes sense?
You just watch it, you'll understand. Then you'll see Owen Wilson, and he'll talk to you like this about jet skis.
What?
Wow.
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 Yeah. You should probably watch it. Just to be ready for
For
Spider-Man No Way Home.
yeah.
You'll be in the loop. You'll understand better.
So we
I'll
have
be
to
in the
take
Mobius
Clang
loop.
back to Konos.
Yes, but he gets Clang napped.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Klangnap. That's the soundtrack
Yes,
track name.
I remembered that on the way over. It's like he gets kidnapped. No, he gets Clang napped. Ha ha.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
Clever. So then they go to that planet to find information out about the Suliban, see if they can track them down.
Rigel 10.
Yeah,
Rigel 10.
Rigel 10, the place that they'd never go back to ever.
Never.
Never.
Never
Curtis
at all.
doesn't get it. That's all right. It's better that he forgets.
Do they go back there?
No.
In the
No.
final episode or
No,
something?
no. Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, they
Oh.
don't. They spend all that
Yes, they
time
do.
on Mars in the final
No.
episode.
I remember now.
It's having to do with a human Vulcan baby.
Yes,
Right.
that was the final episode.
That was
That was it.
Gotcha. I see.
Nothing
I
else
understand.
happened
Nothing
after
else
that.
happened. They never go back to Rigel 10. Doesn't happen.
it.
It's funny in Star Trek The Lower Decks, there's a scene where Riker is there for a little bit, and he comes out of the turbo lift, and he's like, "Oh, I was just hanging out with Captain Archer in the holodeck."
Oh no. No,
Pains my soul.
no, it's sad.
It pains
was
my
funny.
soul.
It was very funny. Okay, so
We
Yes, we know
just
Desk
things
is messy.
happen.
they meet another Suliban
Yes,
woman.
the Suliban woman, she
Oh,
gets
yes,
shot on the way out, but
Yeah.
she still gives them the information so that they can find Clang. So then they,
All right.
and then,
And there's a firefight on the platform, and
yes.
I remember that.
Captain Archer tries to be a hero with his non-phase pistol, whatever laser gun.
Laser
whatever
gun. Yes,
had
the
before.
laser gun 3000.
Yes. And then
If
he
they-
gets shot.
If they had phase pistols on the ship, why didn't they use them?
They must not have been properly calibrated.
Reed hadn't gotten to them yet.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Reed calibrates everything.
Yes. Wait, is that a...
He's like, what's
Right,
his name from Mass
Vicarian.
Effect?
Yeah,
Vicarian.
I thought that's where you were going with that.
Yeah.
Garrus. Anyways,
Paris.
Garrus Vicarian.
Has to calibrate these cannons.
Yeah. Gonna wait for
Yeah.
a bit. I'm in the middle of some calibrations.
He's got a funky looking head.
Yeah,
He does.
He's a cool guy.
He is.
Anyways,
He's an assassin sometimes too.
Anyways, the something happens. Is this when Daniels talks to Archer about the Temporal Cold War?
That's a couple episodes down the line.
I thought that it's introduced in episode 1. Isn't that what you said?
I mean, we see the Suliban talking to Future Dude.
Oh, okay. Then that's
Yeah,
episodes down
that's
the line.
it.
Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Daniels appears for.
Until the episode where he introduces the Temporal Cold War and then dies and then is not dead because he's a time traveler.
I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You
I
know
don't
where
own this series on DVD.
Neither do I.
where he uses that technology to go through walls, and then in
Yes.
Star Trek Discovery, that technology no longer exists by the future people.
The future people no longer have the technology to go through walls in Star Trek Discovery?
I guess not.
What?
Yeah.
This is why Discovery is the worst.
I saw a YouTube video where there were many complaints about this. How I guess the future is no longer that.
That's.
What I'm hearing is that Discovery sucks. What else is new?
They've had 3 seasons though, haven't they? Is
I
that
think they're
weird?
getting a 4th.
Oh man.
If they get a 5th, I'm done. They'll have had more than Enterprise, and Enterprise at least tried at the end.
Yeah. Okay. We skipped a lot of stuff, but that's okay.
Oh, what'd we skip?
What did we skip?
Getting to know the crew?
Just them being captured at first by the Suliban.
Oh,
Oh,
all the
yeah.
Rigel 10 stuff that
Yeah.
happens? Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, and then there's a scene where somebody's coughing, and he's like, "Why are you hurting him?" And T'Pol gives him a lesson in otherworldly etiquette or
Right.
something.
Oh yeah.
Don't mess with things that aren't your concern because
Yep.
you don't understand their culture just because it's not good to in your eyes. It's fine for them or something. It's
And-
basic-
Right.
the
And then we
basic
get to a later episode where they decide, hey, we should probably come up with a prime directive.
lesson. Ah,
Directive.
ah. See what they did there?
Yep.
I don't.
See, they tried
it's-
a little.
A little. Very little.
I mean, I feel like in the original series, they didn't even really follow a prime directive.
They
Like the
had one.
episode
They
with the-
talk about it.
Oh, do they?
Yes. There's a famous quote from Captain Kirk. A Starfleet captain would lay down his life rather than break the prime directive, coming from the guy who breaks the prime directive fairly frequently.
Ah, yes.
He saw the rules as more of guidelines.
Guidelines. Yes.
Parlay.
Parlay? That's it. Parlay.
Okay. So they figure out that Suliban are in the helix.
Oh, yeah.
Gas giant helix.
Yes. Then they go there.
Yes. In a shuttle.
In a shuttle? A shuttle pod.
Oh, right. No, well, they grab
Oh,
an attacking
right.
Suliban ship.
Yes, and then they use that to infiltrate the helix.
Yes.
And then they go and they get Clang, and they're like, shut up, because he's only speaking Klingon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we forgot Hoshi's whole arc. How
she's
try
trying to translate Klingon, and she's
having a
kinda
hard
doing
time.
badly, and she's freaking out or something, and then someone gives her an inspirational speech, and she's good to go.
Although she does
classic.
she does discover that the Vulcans know more about what's going on here than they let on.
Oh, yeah.
Some more. I don't know about those Vulcans.
Those Vulcans, those evil, conniving Vulcans, because everyone knows the Vulcans were untrustworthy from,
Never trust a Vulcan.
right,
Yeah.
that's what everyone said. Definitely not. Vulcans don't lie. That's never what anyone said ever.
Was that? Is that a quote in something?
A Vulcan
like,
never lies.
Never trust a Vulcan.
Yeah.
That's from Star Trek.
Yeah, that's like Bones.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's Kirk in Star Trek Into Darkness when he's talking with
Oh God, even worse.
Admiral, what's his name?
Oh yeah. He's like. So what have we learned here today?
Never
trust
trust
a
a
Vulcan.
Vulcan.
Yeah, that's right. Christopher Pike.
Yes,
Oh,
The
Admiral
we're-
Pike
we're-
at the time, or was he Commodore? I don't remember.
whatever.
Right. I'll get you a hat. Really big one.
one. Commodore.
Commodore. Yeah.
Yeah. They get Clang. They use the magnet thing to destabilize the helix, or is that a different episode entirely?
No, I think you're right because all the pods start going flying
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Isn't-
Okay, there's a brief physical confrontation between Archer and Silic.
Yeah,
Oh
doesn't
right,
he
Archer
gets- he
talks
gets-
to the future man, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Very briefly.
I don't know if it's this episode or a later
Or is that the
episode
later
where he
episode?
does
I don't
that.
remember.
I know
Right,
he's
but
on
they're-
the helix.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
no.
and Trip are on the helix in the infiltration team.
They're in the weird room where it's like a strobe light and it's like
Right.
Uh,
And everything moves more than once.
and then they energize him out. And I think that's like the first transport of a person.
Yes, it's rated for. It's rated.
Cargo.
Yeah, it's rated for living beings.
Ah yes.
The captain wouldn't even put his dog through this thing,
huh.
Remember when J.J. Abrams mentions that
which doesn't make any sense because
Yes,
that
I know.
beagle would be dead.
in a temporal? Yes, it wouldn't make sense
Be a very old beagle.
be a very, very old beagle.
unless if they were hinting that the temporal Cold War brought Archer to the 22nd century, the 23rd century, or whatever.
I'm pretty sure J.J. Abrams just didn't care to look up the dates because he didn't understand how light moves in space. Because apparently Spock, on a different planet other than Vulcan, was able to look up into the sky and watch Vulcan get eaten by the evil space tornado.
Right. Yes.
That's how that works.
Maybe him looking up the sky was more metaphorical because he had the telepathic connection to his people.
That's why they showed the planet being eaten by the space tornado in that scene.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right.
Hard to explain.
Oh, I can explain it. J.J. Abrams is an idiot.
Well, I think he's I don't know if he's an idiot. I don't know if he
Understands
really
the basics
grasped
of
it all.
space, time, and light.
he's more of a a visual filmmaker, not a realistic filmmaker.
You know what visuals are made out of? Light. It travels from point A to point B at a speed. The speed of light.
1.88 something per second.
Yeah. I don't know if
I think.
it's photons or particles. Is that the joke?
Speed of light.
Sweet photons. I don't know if your waves are particles, because light, UV spectrum, all that.
Okay, it's
It goes down smooth.
299,792,458 meters per second.
Yes.
Hmm.
And it's only able to go that fast because it doesn't have mass.
It's 186,000 miles per second.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So they give him back to the Klingons.
Oh yeah, then they cut his hand, don't they?
Yes.
'Cause the information is in his blood.
Which makes no sense, but okay.
Yeah.
That means they didn't even have to get him back alive.
Yeah. Well, so what? Did they do some gene resequencing to resequence his DNA so that it
I don't think
get
they ever
the
explain it.
message? That is kind of confusing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So they're back on the prize, the Enterprise.
And they're like, Starfleet's like, go ahead with your mission. And they fly off into the sunset, never to return, except when they do.
Right. T'Pol asks permission to
Remain aboard.
stay on board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But not in Starfleet, therefore not contradicting. Doesn't she
Right.
join Starfleet in season 4? Or season 3? Because she's
Maybe.
gonna go into the evil land where the Xindi live. And the Vulcans were like, no, don't. And then she's like, I'm going anyways. She does. And then we meet Vulcan zombies.
Right, Vulcan zombies.
Forgot about the Vulcan zombies.
The
Why were
Trillium.
Why were the
Yes.
Vulcan zombies there?
The ship went in to explore the evil land where the Xindi live.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the Trillium, which they need to protect their ships from the spatial anomalies, they went to go get that, and that breaks down their neural pathways or something.
Right. And they can't control their emotions.
And
They go nutso.
Right. Which, the Vulcans in Enterprise already had trouble controlling their emotions until season 4.
Couldn't find Sirach's
Teachings.
thing.
Yeah.
Tough being a Vulcan.
Until Archer gets the Katra.
Katra. Yes.
So this has been our review of episode 1, Broken Bow, and also an overview of the entire series to some degree. There's some good, then it gets pretty good, then it gets really good in season 4, and then it ends.
And then they're done.
Then
it
they
ends
go
on
to
a high note.
Then they go to Detroit at one point.
That's season 3.
That must have been scary.
Curtis, do you remember the Detroit episode?
Yes.
Yeah, so do I.
What
They
do you
rob
say?
an ATM.
Oh yeah.
Star Trek Enterprise reboot.
Why?
There is not a Star Trek Enterprise reboot in development.
Thank the gods.
But some website put together a list of who the new versions of Dr. Phlox and all of them would be.
Why would we reboot it?
And why would we change Dr. Phlox?
That's true.
I don't know. It's too bad. Oh, wait. There's a Star Trek Enterprise Season 5 Netflix campaign. Trekmate.org.
Yeah, sure, it'll happen. Not.
Oh, wait. When did this come out? So
8
curious.
years ago.
Yeah, it doesn't have a date on this article, so it's
Yeah.
probably a long time ago. That's too bad. Oh, here we go. Comments from 2015.
Oh,
don't
Lord.
think it's don't think it's gonna happen.
Probably not. I could have told them that in 2015.
Oh man, be so cool. They
Hmm.
could just
Ignore
erase that one episode.
what episode? What are you talking about, Curtis?
I mean, right now, well, they could explain. I don't know. I really wanted them to get into the whole Romulan
It would have been
war
so
and-
good.
I know it would have made for great TV.
They set it up.
Yep,
We
they
had
sure did.
evil Romulan what's his name, the same actor that they used as evil Romulan what's his name.
Right, and
Mhm.
they would have never seen each other. You know, if they would have stuck to canon.
They
Hopefully,
took great pains and efforts to make sure the Romulans were not being shown to the
Yep.
humans to
Mhm.
in congruation in line with, of course, episode 10, Balance of Terror.
Mm.
right. More like episode 9, you loser.
They have
In your face.
victory's mine.
Hmm.
On a scale, Curtis, from 7 to 29, how would you rate this episode?
Oh, it's a weird scale.
Uh-huh.
This episode,
Yes.
I mean, it's somewhere in the middle. It's a decent episode. There's Ephraim Cochran,
Yeah?
Mhm.
whom I think I read that they actually had what's his face reprise that role.
They did?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. It's decent. It's not great, but you know what you gonna do.
Not make the show.
Would you have preferred them to have not made
I
Star
just
Trek Enterprise?
don't know. On the one hand, yes. On the other hand, no.
Interesting.
Yep.
One of William Shatner's books,
Oh boy.
I think it might have been Preserver. I don't know, I can't remember. In it must have, I think it came out right before Enterprise came out. So they must have had access to some of the like general details.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't have like, you know, the final details. So he mentions, I thought, like a Captain Archer in the book, but he doesn't call him Jonathan Archer. He calls him something else Archer.
Hmm.
So they must have changed the original name of the character between William Shatner writing his book and when the show came out.
Right.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. That happens.
But hey, the Enterprise D went to Archer 4
Archer 4.
Yeah.
in an incredible episode that we've talked about. Yesterday's Enterprise.
Right. I do wonder if they intentionally did that. Hard to say.
Hard to say.
It could have been shorter.
There's a lot of filler, and the filler isn't even used as good exposition to try and like get you into Star Trek as a universe, a world. It's more of just like, here's stuff that Star Trek people do. Okay.
Are we talking about the first episode
Yes.
or the whole show in general?
The first episode especially.
Gotcha.
I mean, the whole show does that more in the beginning, gets away from it. As with any show will, but I don't know.
Yeah, season 3 got really, really heavy. And then thankfully season 4, they were like, okay, let's lighten this up a little bit. Do some more Trekkie things.
Yes.
I rate it 600 Quatloos.
Okay. All right. All right.
Noah, what did you rate it?
250 slips of bars of latinum.
Hmm.
Or slips
Not
of latinum.
strips,
Not
just slips.
well,
Yeah,
just slips.
good call. Yeah.
Are tips the smallest again?
Slips are.
Slips are the smallest.
Slips, strips, bars.
Bars, yeah.
Then bricks.
But we never know how much a brick is
No,
worth.
we don't. We're never given that conversion.
Hmm. I do feel like, I don't know, if Star Trek The Lower Decks is successful, I could totally see them doing a Ferengi show in the similar like animation style.
Probably.
It'd be great.
It's more
Get Armin
comedic.
Shimmerman in there.
Hey.
I mean, Armin Shimmerman just needs to come back as Quark at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe for that DS9 reboot, that's not gonna happen.
You never know if the
Poor.
remaster is successful and like hundreds of thousands of
Hundreds
people
of
subscribe to Paramount Plus.
No, sell it on
Maybe.
DVD. I'll buy it. Or Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, Blu-ray.
Shut up and take my money.
Right. That and the motion picture. Hopefully that'll come out on the director's cut. Will come out on Blu-ray.
I'm waiting for Star Trek 6, the director's cut, to come out on Blu-ray.
Well, that one's easy. That shouldn't
That
take
shouldn't take
much work at all.
but we still don't have it.
Yeah. General Chang. Wow, so dramatic.
Yeah.
Let's see how Star Trek Picard is doing. I'm excited for that.
Why?
I just
'Cause
kind of
it's
want to.
Q.
I just kind of want to know when he'll be there, and nothing else.
I'm sure Q will be in the first episode because he's been in the trailers or whatever.
John DeLance.
February 2022. And apparently they hired some new person to play the Borg Queen.
Interesting.
What? But, oh god.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what this article says.
The Borg went boom in Voyager.
Doesn't mean they died. They have many hives.
Why
I'm
are they
sure.
bringing the Borg Queen back? That ruined the Borg. Borg were more interesting without a persona.
No, I like the Borg Queen. She's scary. Ooh. All that makeup. So much time. By Michael Westmore. Let's see. Borg Queen makeup.
I thought it was interesting how when they cast the Borg Queen in Voyager, they used a different actress.
They used an actress who auditioned for it for First Contact.
Yeah.
Right.
And
But then they
then
brought Alice Krieg back for the final episode, right?
But then when they made the Star Trek Experience Borg 4D, they brought back the original person that they brought in for Voyager. Yeah.
This is a long and confusing chain.
I know.
Just bring back Robert Picardo again. It'll be great.
That'd be nice.
Oh, there'll never be another Picard. Oh, there'll never be another Picard.
Ooh,
Oh, Picardo. Centro Namabile.
Okay. I was just looking for a general time, like how much time she had to sit in the chair to get into all the...
I assume
Crazy.
a lot.
Yeah.
Didn't she have to wear, like, glass contacts?
Right, yeah. Because it's the crazy eye thing.
Yeah. It's
Ugh.
just, that's too much.
They literally glued the Borg Queen suit to her skin
Mm-hmm.
and then sewed up the costume.
Yep.
Oh, and then the suit shrank during the curing process. So then they had to, like, cut it off of her to remove it. Wow, that sounds awful. But it looked great.
It did look great.
All right. Well, now we've moved into
Who do you think
strange new worlds.
Who do you think had a better, like, moment of relief? Her after, like, not having to wear that bodysuit again, or
John
What-
Rhys Davies.
John
with
Rhys Davies destroying
Ooh.
his
his final
face?
His final face.
Yeah, that's
It's a good
that's
question.
tough.
I'm glad you knew where I was
I
going.
knew exactly where you were going. I was like, there's only one other person that I knew was super pissed off about it. John Rhys Davies.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Because even even what's his name that plays Zack,
Yeah,
inconceivable.
he loved it.
He was allergic to it, but he was so committed. He was
Right.
just like, I'll do it. I don't care. I'll just deal with it.
Hence, we had a great Zack.
It is why. Until they turned him into not a capitalist.
That tickles my nose.
Where's my beetle snuff?
Where's my beetle snuff? Yeah.
Strange New Worlds might be okay.
So that's like a Christopher Pike show? Is that what
Yeah.
I'm seeing?
Yeah.
He does, I mean,
Anson
He-
Mount plays a good Pike.
okay. The picture I saw, I honestly thought he looked more like Kirk than Pike, but whatever. It works. He looks like he's a good Starfleet captain.
He does.
So this takes place, his show takes place before Kirk then? It's like a direct prequel?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to like it because they've still got their future Enterprise bridge, which
This
is
isn't-
disgusting.
Yeah. It isn't like this isn't a different universe Christopher Pike or anything? It's supposed to be in the same...
Depending on how you think about timelines, yes, but no.
Yes, but actually, no.
Exactly. So,
Has,
Curtis, depending on if you subscribe to the idea that everything that has happened in J.J. Abrams / Kurtzman Trek is an alternate timeline, which it could
Right.
be theoretically, then it's a different Pike.
Oh.
If you don't
okay.
subscribe to that theory, then it's the same Pike. Depends on how you look at it.
Gotcha. Has, what's his face? The theorizer or whoever had any...
Theorizer.
You know that the guy who breaks the news, that one YouTube channel guy.
There's lots of them.
Uh,
I don't know.
he had all the theories on the different timelines, canon versus
I'd have
whatever.
to look and see if he's done anything. I know what you're talking about, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Wait, there are other timelines? Which is, of course, a reference to Curtis.
I don't know. Avengers, something? Oh, is it a Community reference?
Yes.
Yes.
We were watching
Yes,
Community
okay.
earlier.
I was.
Now, is that the one where... Is that the where... is that... does Jeff... Is that where Jeff is going loopy? And he thinks there are different timelines
No.
going on or something?
No. It is, in fact, the original timeline episode.
Oh,
guy.
yes. It's just something that they repeat every time.
No, that's the pizza delivery guy. Well,
The
he
s-
says
the
it like
stoner
twice. Yeah,
deli-
the
pizza
stoner
delivery.
delivery guy.
Oh.
Because in the timeline where Britta went to go out and get it, they fell in love or something, so she brings him back. It was like, I wonder what happened in all those other timelines. Wait,
There are
are
other
other
timelines?
Right. Haven't watched Community in a while.
I've got all 6 seasons on Blu-ray.
I know.
Waiting for that
but
movie.
Yeah, you don't... I was going to say, you don't have that movie.
I don't. No one does. We're waiting. We're hoping.
Could happen.
It could.
Maybe it'll come exclusively to Paramount Plus.
Damn it.
That was an NBC show, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Originally,
And then it was Yahoo.
Oh, right.
it
And then-
bankrupt Yahoo for season 6. Yahoo Screen tried to launch their streaming platform
With Community.
with Community. The
As much as I appreciated it, it's just that's not a smart idea.
no, it was, especially at that point, it was even more of a cult show.
Yeah.
It's less so now, but because it got onto Netflix a couple of times once the series wrapped up.
Jeff Winger.
Jeff Winger.
It'll maybe happen.
I hope it does.
Gotta think.
Joel McHale managed to get one good role out of his acting career.
Right.
Can you honestly, Curtis, remember anything else that he was good in?
The soup.
He did the game show.
The soup.
Huh?
He was the guy in the soup.
I don't remember that.
It was on like Comedy Central or something.
It was
Oh.
it was his role immediately before Community.
Oh.
And
Like-
even during the first season, I think he was still doing the soup or something.
Like, think Tosh.0, but Jeffrey Winger.
I think I watched Tosh 1.0 or 0.10 or whatever like 10 years ago once.
So we've gone off the rails just a tad.
Yes.
Basically,
so.
what we're saying is you can watch this episode and it'll be okay. Or you could not, and your life will still be okay.
Yep. Yeah, it certainly, if you start Star Trek binge watching, you probably start with the original series. And if you make it to Enterprise, cool.
Start with the original series or start with Deep Space Nine. If you start with TNG, start with Season 3, start with Voyager. Don't. Reconsider your life decisions.
Oh no.
Ooh. But it's got a good theme music.
It does have good theme music. I kid. Start with Season 3 of Voyager.
Whenever Captain Proton starts to show up, start there.
That might be Season 3.
There we go.
Because he first shows up in the episode 30 Days, if I recall.
I don't know.
I don't recall.
Come on, Curtis. You remember 30 Days? That was the episode with the water planet, and then he's in the brig because he...
Captain Proton is in that?
Yes!
I think that might be like season 4 or 5.
Dang.
Right, because like he's explaining it as
Yes.
a letter to his father or a voicemail to his
Yes.
father.
Oh, is this another episode where Paris gets arrested?
Yes.
Doesn't this happen like 4 times? 4 or 5?
I don't
Maybe.
keep track of these things. And
I
I haven't
remember that
rewatched
one.
Voyager recently.
Yep.
But Curtis did remember it. I was glad that I said the water planet, and he's in the brig,
Yeah.
and Curtis was like, oh yeah, 30 Days.
Right. Because what? They were going to launch... He wanted to launch missiles to blow something up?
He
or-
wanted to save the water planet, and that was going against the Prime Directive or something.
Ah,
So Janeway forbade him, and then he went and did it.
Ah, yes.
So then he was in the brig, and he wasn't even allowed outside for exercise at the brig, which is frowned upon by the Geneva Convention.
Interesting.
So
No, it was basically solitary confinement. That's what it was, which is
Ah.
frowned upon very heavily by the Geneva Convention.
So what we're saying is this episode of Enterprise is okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to start with Enterprise, start with Season 3.
Oh, but that'd be so confusing. You gotta watch the end of season 2 to understand season 3.
Oh, right. I forgot that was a huge lead up. Watch the end of Season 2 and then watch Season 3. You'll be a little confused by some of the Klingon stuff going on, but that's okay. It won't show up again until Season 4.
Right. Right.
Like and subscribe.
Sure.